Good morning, race fans. Welcome once again to Pimlico Racecourse. I'm Naomi Tucker, joined by Keith Fustel, and boy, did we have a splendid day yesterday. Now, Keith, we have a word for this in Dutch. It's called nagenieten. It means to enjoy and relive something after it happened. Now, that's what we're going to do
All right.
at the end of the show, but how did you pull up?
Yeah, I tell you, I did okay. I was tired after yesterday. They've got us doing a little extra stuff up there in the old Echo Base room and testing some things. But it was a long day. But I tell you, the racing was great. Handle off the charts. What 5.5, almost 5.6 million. It was really an outstanding day. It kind of felt like a Preakness day, me from a work standpoint, when it was all said and done.
It was a truly wonderful day, and
Yes.
thank you so much to all the fans and the
Hmm.
bettors for supporting our card as strongly. And credit goes to the racing office for
Yes.
amassing such a stellar card.
Hmm.
I had a grin the entire day because every race was better than the
Oh.
one prior. It was it was impeccable. So I can't wait to discuss it, but we'll get going with everything that's
Hmm.
going on here first, including a wonderful offer from our friends at First Bet, of course, the official wagering partner of the Maryland Jockey Club. You can win a $20,000 bet on this year's Preakness if you place your bets using Express Bet or First Bet, and you gain an entry with every bet that you make.
Hmm.
First.com/bet/promotions. Why not? Why not? I'm game. I want to have a 20 grand bet on
Hmm.
the Preakness 146. It's already shaping up to be quite the race, hopefully. Once again, as well as last year was such a stellar renewal. And of course, the Triple Crown is upon us, less than a week until the Kentucky Derby. That first Saturday in May is coming fast. You can watch all the Triple Crown races and wager on them at Laurel Park in our Silks simulcast room. Derby Day, Preakness Day, Belmont Day, $15 ticket. So do join us at Laurel Park. They got wonderful facilities there, and
Hmm.
we're happy to have you. As for today, now Keith, I know you're sitting outside.
Yes.
How is it looking? Bit dreary, isn't it?
A little bit. We're trying to get out of here. We had a little bit of rain last night, right? In the area of this track right now is sloppy. I do think we're going to get the muddy, maybe good by the end. We need the sun to peek out and a little bit more wind to pick up. But we're going to deal with an off track. Definitely at the beginning of this racing card. But yeah, some rain last night probably didn't hurt the turf course. We're not on the turf today anyhow, right?
No,
So
we're
yeah,
not.
just add a little bit, green it up a little bit more. But how about that turf course yesterday? The way he handled up and the riders commenting about it. So yeah, very good reports from what I heard.
Yeah, it looks
Hmm.
absolutely stellar.
Yep.
Luscious green coverage there on our
Hmm.
turf track. Can't wait to have some more wonderful events on it. And indeed, we had 3 great stakes races on it yesterday. More to come. As we get going here with the first race on the card,
Okay.
9 race card today, a mile 16 the distance. But of course, the first race always kicks off the early pick 5. I created a ticket for today's sequence. And I did have to make a couple of last minute changes. We had a
Hmm.
couple of late scratches. So do check Equibase for the late scratches as well. And of course, we'll keep you abreast of any changes. I used the 2, the 4, and the 5 in the first leg here. The 5 being my top selection, Super Houdini for Claudio Gonzalez and John Geraldo. Race 2, I used the 1 and the 6, Welling. Absolutely relishes the off-going. Is a true 2-turn type horse. And Kieran McGee just seems him getting him back in an upward curve again. Against after a couple of missed performances, 2 and 3 back, he seems to be getting back to his best again as well. And I do use the number 6, Y Mumbo, Claudio Gonzalez. This gelding is stretching back out again, but he has been able to navigate the distance quite nicely when breaking his maiden was over this exact distance. Race 3 is now a single. The number 2, Classy but Sassy for Hamilton Smith. She can handle this kind of track as well. She's back to the sprinting distance once again. This is exactly the same conditions she got last time out. She did very gamely on it. I had the number 4, Concrete Answer, in there for Claudio. She's not lining up today, so this is my single. Race number 4, I used the 1, the 2, and the 6. And then race 5, that's my spread race. Maiden special weight, I used the 2, the 3, the 9, and the 10. And you know what? They all have a chance here in this 2-turn event. 4 fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. So actually really looking forward to that race. Love to hear your opinion on that later on as well,
Hmm.
Keith.
Okay.
$36 flat for this early pick 5 ticket. And we'll get going here with your top selection, Keith. The number 4, Mr. Shades of Grey,
Hmm.
maiden 25,000, mile and 16. Do you know you got a juicy stat for us once again on trainer Bruno Tessori?
Yeah, how about this? Not a large sample over the last 3 years, though, in the dirt. Bruno Tessori, quite well. Look at this 5 for 11, 45%, 7 for 11 in the money, I should say. First off the claim, ROI, it's a good one, 367. Mr. Shades of Gray comes into a race. Now, some of the speed is out. Replicant, I thought, was going to be forward. Some key scratches. The 1, the 3, and the 7 are out of the opener. Mr. Shades of Gray is going to try a route for the first time. Looked at the breeding. I think he can get it, especially the first time. We might trick him into getting the distance. He's a horse that made a pretty good run last time after trouble. He's had some issues, no doubt, in some of his races. He needs to avoid some trouble, but if he can kind of just not get too much pressure from the 6 Drakesboro Wildcat, or maybe just kind of stalk that one, I think he can finish here against this group, separate himself, because I think Super Dini's going to take a lot of play for Claudio. Just doesn't have a whole lot of speed. He's going to have to put himself into the race by the quarter pole. He's just that kind of a grinding type. Maybe this race will fall apart in front of him, but I like this. That stat put me over the top for Mr. Shades of Gray right now. I've been eyeing this horse. He's run against some of the right horses too back. Ribbons and Metal came back to run a good number, like a 65 up at Penn. So let's take a shot.
Yeah, let's quickly mention a bit of an outside horse. Both of us used the number 6 Drakesburg Wildcat underneath. Gray Emotion trains and is a Tampa Bay shipper. If he transfers that turf form to dirt, he could enjoy this because he's shown blistering speed up front.
Yeah, if he does, he's going to make my 4 horse have to take back and stalk. Yeah, that's going to be the main question. He took some pressure. If he's able to clear and relax, he could certainly go a long way. Looked on the breaks. I wasn't a whole lot to really get excited about underneath. But, yeah, got to respect Graham. One of his other horses, he took that firster out here today, the Union Rags, firster, Undaunted Rags. We'll see another day.
Yeah, race number 2 for 3-year-olds and upwards, claiming 16,000 mile and 16 the distance here. And both you and I go to good old Welling. This is a horse that I've been following here from the start. He's trained by Kieran McGee. Of course, was with Michael Trombetta before that. Has got the numbers on his form. Clunked a little bit in the 2 and 3 starts back, but seems to be coming back on an upward curve. And he's an out-and-out grinding type that can certainly skip over a wet surface if it hasn't dried out as much yet by the second race, which I don't think it will. So this is going to suit him.
I think it'll suit him just fine, and he looks like he's hinting, right, is coming back to one of those better efforts. Maybe he can get in that higher 60s, low 70 kind of buyer figure, which will get it done. Carol Sedanos and Kieran McGee, very good owner-trainer combo year in and year out, and she gave Extra Medium a very good ride sprinting. Maybe she can get the similar trip to Welling today, be able to save ground. There is some speed to target. The 5, unbeknownst to me, why Mumbo and Bold Quest, they all want to kind of be close. Even Greek Prince has tactical speed. I think Welling will be able to relax, maybe get that inside trip around the final turn and then close up. I think he looks like the quality finisher in here.
I feel so as well. Why Mumbo didn't have that much fun at Parks last time out. Now gets back to Pimlico over the 2 turns. Has done well enough going 2 turns, mile and 16. Broke his maiden over it.
Yeah, and I think he's going to like the trip that he's going to get just outside of the 5. I think that he can measure the speed if he wants to. If he wants to separate, I think he can too. He's got that gear. So last couple, a little lacking. That's what worries me. I think I can depend on Welling's finish a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel so as well. So 1-6 is our exacta, both of us here, as we'll get going with race number 3. 4 fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Maiden 10, sprinting 6 furlongs the distance here. The number 2, Classy But Sassy, as I mentioned, is now my single here after a scratch of concrete answer for Claudio Gonzalez, who was most likely going to go forward. Now, Classy But Sassy has shown a bit of speed herself, so she might actually try to take the lead.
I think she could. Western Movies from the outside with the blinkers on also could be aggressive and go ahead and send. I think you might see that tactics getting in light with Geraldo here, the 7-pound bug. But Classy and Sassy can rate as well. Handle the surface that had moisture in it last time. Improved second time off the break. I think this horse just looks like the most likely winner here in race 3. Kind of defaulting into the 2 because I thought the 4 was going to go wire to wire.
Yeah, same here. But Classy But Sassy now gave me a single on my early pick 5 ticket. So let's hope Hamilton Smith and KG Davis can get the job done for me. But as you mentioned, the number 8 towards the outside, Western Movies, most likely going to show even more speed with the application of blinkers after tiring late last time out on a sloppy surface. So is the question if this 5-year-old mare that's only making her 2nd lifetime start is going to enjoy the wet ground once again. But we'll see come race 3. So we'll move on to race number 4, which is the start of the Rainbow Pick 6, for which I do believe we have a carryover slate as well. No, we don't.
No,
have
that's
Oh,
right. They
it
hit
did
it
come out yesterday.
40,000. Yeah.
That is my bad. I got so excited with all the action yesterday. I do remember that there were 3 singles indeed, and it went out. That was a big pot, so congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the lucky person here. So no
Mm-hmm.
carryover. You did create a ticket for the middle pick 4 as well, Keith.
I did. That pick 6, yeah, 40,752. So congrats to whoever took that one down. Late pick 5. One of my buddies caught the late pick 5 yesterday for about 3,500. So drinks are on him today. Here we go. Middle pick 4. Too deep to get you started. 1 in the 5. Uno Tigris off a break. Bennett Barn. These horses are in form and running well. Naomi 3 deep in the 5th with the 2, 3, and 9. 2 deep in race number 6. That's the 7 and 9. Baptize the boy. Cry no more. Pulling for Kieran today. Could be a big day for Kieran and the whole gang. They do very good work year in and year out. Race 7, the 1, 8, and 9. Sheriff Chip, my price play in there in the 7th. It's an $18 ticket for the middle pick 4. And yesterday, the middle pick 4 paid like $8,000. And I hope some of the players kind of played along. We liked working on a dream. We had that horse selected 2nd. Hopefully that helped you. Maybe kind of launched you to a middle pick 4. That thing paid, I think, yeah, $8,800 or so.
Yeah,
Yep.
Working on a dream, $60
Yes.
winner, Charlie Marquez on board. Charlie Marquez also surpassed the 100 winners yesterday, so big congratulations to the apprentice. And indeed, Keith, I did text you saying, well done with working on a dream. And you thought I was joking, but I was very serious that was a good selection that I kind of overlooked. So certainly a couple of big prices yesterday in the deep fields that helped make the middle pick 4 such a lucrative opportunity. Race number 4, 5 furlongs the distance. A nice starter for fillies and mares 3-year-old and upwards. The number 2 is my top selection, but we'll start with the number 5 here, just because we have a video spotlight. You use her in your exactor. Betha Barra for Hamilton Smith. She's going to go 2nd after a layoff here, and we can see her at Laurel Park there over 7 furlongs, making quite a sharp move, covering a lot of ground here on the turn. And I did see that, making a move when everyone is starting to accelerate can be very tricky.
Yeah, not sure that she's going to win this race, and 5/8 may be just a little too short, but I like the move she made here. Lost ground almost every step of the way there, out 4 wide, shifts about 6 wide, turning for a home. But that was a pretty good group, right? Queen of Tomorrow, you see Ski Bunny, horses that have been effective at this level. Just a little bit of a flatten out, and that was rightly so after that tough trip. From a man, Jerry Romans, I'll see him down in Ellery hopefully next March. And Ham Smith, yeah, there's a lot of one-dimensional types in this field. I think Bethabra is going to be able to kind of save ground, drop in, and rally into it. She may not win it, but I think at that price she'll be close to double digits. Could really boost your exactas and tries.
Yeah, a fair bit of speedsters in here.
Yes.
I think, Tigris is going to try and go forward. Princess Corey's got a lot of early game. The 6, Margie's Heaven, has shown to have a lot of blistering speed. I used all of them in my top 3. We're going 5 furlongs, so all I want to see is a horse that's going to go to the front, and whoever outsprints the other and can continue to stay is going to be the winner here. Of course, Hugh McMahon trains Margie's Heaven. Angel Cruz, they partner up once again. Crossed the wire first in the Tessio on accelerator yesterday, but unfortunately for them, the Reds was moved up, as we'll discuss that later on as well. Tigers on the rail. Dale Bennett, I think she's going to be very tough too, and you pick her on top.
Yeah, the barn's rolling along, and I think this little freshening is going to do her good. They hold her here at this level. Acclaim, they're protecting her. She's got positional speed. I think she's got enough to stay in touch. If one of these horses from the outside can outrun her, just avoid a little problem into the turn, any kind of check, then we're going to be in trouble. But I think she can get a smooth run into there and wear down this speed.
Yeah, I use the number 2, Princess Corey, on top first off the claim for Kieran McGee, and you see Carol Cedinho takes the ride. They've been so strong. It's like going from one solid trainer into another. I mean, this is Kieran McGee does very, very well with these first off the claims, but this Princess Corey, if she runs a similar race to what she's shown in the past at that Aqueduct, sprinting on a muddy surface, which is kind of one of the key races I looked at, seeing if she was able to navigate a little bit of cut in the ground. Princess Corey has shown that she's capable of doing so, and sitting behind the speed and still coming with a rally or taking over sort of mid-stretch. So I'm hoping Princess Corey can get the job done. But this is a good little sprinting race that we got on our hands here in race 4. As we'll take a short break, but we'll be right back with the 5th.
And they're off. Second in the 2-path.
Good morning. Welcome back to Pimlico Racecourse. Naomi Tucker, Keith Fusel. We're on the fifth race, maiden special weight for fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, excuse me, going the 2-turn mile and 16 distance. Ooh, this is my spread race when it comes to my exotics. This race, I feel like there's a few that could lay their claims here. But let's start with the number 3, Luminous. We do have a video of this 3-year-old filly. She made her debut going long. We always know that's tricky. And what we didn't see here is that she broke at her leisure. Had plenty of ground still to make up, but in that deep stretch to the second wire at Laurel Park, she seemed to really relish the time she had on her hands to keep on responding to Sheldon Russell's urgings.
Yeah, the number didn't come back great, right, Naomi? About a 50 buyer there. But what I like is the way that some of these other horses have now exited that race and moved up. Good Measure came back to run a 58 with a little trouble in her next start. And we saw Moon Safe take the field a long, long way yesterday in the Weber City Miss. So I think that race a little bit maybe better than the number second out. Brittany Russell is just fine for me, okay, and she can navigate the distance. So yeah, I think she's going to be fine in here. Another, drawn towards the inside might show a little bit more speed. Maybe not want to fall that far back like she did in debut. They were going slow too. She closed into that slower pace and might have a little things quicker up front to help her out today.
Yeah, you use the number 9 on top here, Golden Lassie, who is most likely going to be a pace influencer, stretching out to the mile 16 for the first time. She went very fast in that maiden 40 in the first couple of sections that day and had to admit defeat in deep stretch. But I think for her, stretching out here might just be the answer.
Might be the answer. You're going to go first time, Claudio. That's always a pretty good answer too, right? That. Then you see horses move up. This one is a half to tattoo that we know can handle a route of ground. I like tattooed at about a mile 16 tops. But Golden Lassie looks like the speed in here. Off track should be fine. And the protect move. They could have gone for a maiden 40, right, and protected with the waiver, but they're going to go maiden special weight in here and go for a higher pot. So that's interesting to me. She's going to set sail. Let's see how far she can go.
Yeah, I use the number 2, Hightailing, as my top selection. Second start after a lengthy layoff of 1 year and 10 months, but we know how good Shug McGay and Forest Boys can be on this circuit. She's got figures on the dirt going long that could absolutely work in this field. Now, has been running on the turf in her last 2 starts. And, of course, Shug ran third with his 2 stakes runners yesterday in Vigilante's Way in the Dahlia, Dreams of Tomorrow in the Henry Clark. So he is very sharp when he brings them over here.
Oh, he's been deadly. And this combination's been deadly year in and year out. Looking at the dirt maidens, 4 for 20 the last 3 years, 10 for 20 in the money. Maybe a little better angle, stronger angle on the turf with his maidens. But you're looking at a horse actually came back off of a 558-day layoff and actually ran a top turf number. So it looks like, she's okay. She's all right. She's kind of a similar horse. And her dirt number, she comes back to the 65. She doesn't have a ton of speed, but anything close to that probably gets her over the top in here unless Golden Lassie just whistles up front.
Yeah, a couple of unknown factors in there, but that's why it's my spread race, that maiden special weight coming up in the 5th. Race number 6 is 5 furlongs, 3-year-old allowance first level there. And this is also a fun race. Now, we did have a couple of scratches in here. The number 2, Adding Machine, as well as Joseph Israel, the number 5, are not lining up in here. You go towards the outside, and so do I, Keith, except different horses here.
Okay.
You use the number 9, Cry No More. Carol Cedinho has been partnering this gelding throughout his 2-start career. First time against winners, but that was quite a professional effort, going good splits to win at maiden special weight level.
Yeah, the break is going to be key here, right? That's a little redundant. It's a 5/8 race. You better break good. And Cry No More, a debut against the grain of the racetrack, February the 20th. Still, held okay to mid-stretch. Johnny Sachs, a good horse, went up to New York, I believe, ran a good second. Comes back and wins. And I tell you, really kind of prompted the pace, confidently handled around the turn to go clear and then hold off Sebelius, who came back, I think, this weekend and won it Keeneland with a good number as the favorite in the maiden special weight, a big maiden special weight field. So Cry No More, I think he's this good, and I still think he might hold an okay price with a horse like, Force. You see all those gaudy numbers on the back, on the go back. Cry No More looked really, really good last time. So I'm going to take him right back on his home track.
Yeah, you're going to take the inform horse in comparison to Force, coming off a lengthy year and 5 months on the sidelines. This is another runner that has joined the Miguel Vera barn in search of recapturing that early promise, and he's shown blistering gate speed and early sectionals throughout his career, frequently rattling off at 21 and change first quarters, which I think is very, very sharp. And it seems to be working well here for the Miguel Vera barn. And of course, that barn is heated up significantly over the last couple of days since we gone to Pimlico here. You use the number 7 as well, which is Baptize the Boy. So do I. This is, a tough gelding that has been knocking around at this level for quite a bit. Was a second in the Maryland Million sprint in last year, though. So obviously a horse that can jump up and come with quite the run late.
Yeah, he's the type of horse, too. He's consistent. He likes an off-track. We still think there might be a little bit of moisture in this racetrack by the time we hit race 6. But he's the type of horse that can kind of chase, and just keep on trying. He goes into those fast fractions and still has something left in the tank the last eighth of a mile. So I think he's a stayer here in race 6. And if they duel, he could go right over the top.
And he could indeed. Race number 7, maiden event for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, 10 to 8,000 claiming, 6 furlong the distance. You landed on the number 1, Sheriff Chip, for Amanda Rawlings, Kevin Gomez. Now, I must admit, I didn't have that horse originally. We had a late scratch in this race. The number 10, Here Comes Rudy, will not be lining up. But do tell me what you like about Sheriff Chip. To me, it was the fact that he was capable of showing a bit of speed on his debut.
Yeah, I thought the debut was really good. He made a couple different runs in there and still kept on trying. He's back now as a 4-year-old. The second time out, hooked a horse like Hard Sting. It was, I think, was a dropper that day. I have to go back and correct, but I remember that horse running for definitely more. Off track is good. We've got a high ROI percentage trainer, not a big sample, but year in and year out, it's profitable when you go ahead and bet these horses. Sheriff Chip, good workout over this racetrack. I think there's a little bit of questionable speed in here, some speed just to the outside. Short lister, I think, is going to go. So why not? I think this horse has a rating tactic in here and goes ahead and rallies past the stretch. I'm not in love with anybody else. And Raven Rahi, I don't know what to do. You got the Brittany factor, obviously, first time out. But looking bottom side, I didn't see a whole lot to get enthused about. So I'm going to go ahead and try to beat her this time with Sheriff Chip.
Yeah, damn unraced for Raven Rahi. None of the siblings won first time out, but Moser hits at 12% with his older first-time starters. And indeed, the Brittany factor, he'll be well prepared in here, and I think they placed him at the right level, the maiden 10. That seems to correspond with what I saw on the bottom side as well. Most likely will take a bit of money, but you don't know what you don't know with these firsters, and I'm going to bank in on possibly Raven Rahi jumping up and having good enough clip to be able to take them all the way here. The number 8, Day of Honor, Crystal Pickett, is dropping back down from that maiden 16 level. Might have found a soft field here that he can best.
Yeah, Bourbon Bryce, the winner, came back to run a 41 the other day. Mr. Shades of Gray, who I like earlier, for more money, and now you got this one in for 10. Yeah, it looks like the obvious horse maybe that you're going to think is going to hit the board. Day of Honor, improved number off the claim and a slight raise, has handled an off track. We saw that back in debut, going back in January of 20, and positional speed against this group. Should be able to stalk and should be looming boldly by the time they hit the quarter pole.
Race number 8, we're going a mile and 16 once again for 3-year-olds and upwards, starter level here. The number 7, Good Luck Chuck, is both of our top selections. Now, we haven't had many of the same top selections today, so it's always good to see that we agree. Hopefully, we are absolutely right in our predictions. Leonardo Carrillo takes the ride. Robbie Bales trains. Good Luck Chuck has an abundance of early speed. He won 2 in a row, November and January last year. We do have a video, I believe, where we can see him sort of try and make his move from mid-pack.
This is against a better group. The money ride, Prince James race, youngest of 5, Good Luck Chuck, down to the inside. Not like the track was playing any certain particular way this particular afternoon, but I like this effort. Makes a move, moves up a couple lengths around the turn, and you look at the running line, and goes from 3 lengths out of it to about 6 3/4. Just a slight little fade. I mean, the horse is giving effort. We talk about it. This is why you go watch reruns. Sometimes you get fooled by just looking at a running line. Sometimes it just feels just a little too good. But look at Good Luck Chuck. Giving effort, comes back on a sloppy track, was up into not a demanding flow, but some quick horses. Just couldn't keep up. He catches the right group here today. He scored at a big price in the other than at Charlestown when he controlled it. VIP ticket was like 1 to 5 in there, turned him away. I think stretching back out. Robbie's good here, sprinter route, good ROI. Why not take a shot? He's a horse that always gets disregarded at the windows. Maybe we can get 6-8 to 1 on him. We'll
I
see.
mean, yeah, look at some of the prices that he's
Mm-hmm.
gone off at before. It certainly hasn't been as favorable with the betters. The number six, other things equal using your
Yep.
exacta. Now, Jamie Ness and Sheldon Russell, this recent partnership has absolutely taken off. And this is a gelding that came from New York, ran at Laurel on a sloppy service, did so well for trainer Justin Nixon, and
Mm-hmm.
is now first off the claim for Jamie Ness.
Couple of these horses keying up against Divine Interventio. Very good key horse in that 16 to 12.5 level. All things equal, yes, brings a finish. And I went back and read the long comment, the footnote of that race. My partner Bill called, and he gave it the quote-unquote rallied nicely. A good effort through the stretch. He picked that up. That kind of woke me up here to the effort. You got some horses with sketchy form in here. He looks like he's
Yep.
going to be able to hold for, maybe even move back up just by the way this trainer's going right now. He's going great guns as Jamie Ness.
Yeah, I use the number 2 walkaway Joe underneath Dale Capuala, Alexander Crispin. 2 starts back, very, very sharp closing over this distance. So I'm hoping there's going to be a good bit of speed. I think the 7 is going to get the run of the race and possibly head forward and try and take them all the way. But then you have a horse like Walkaway Joe, maybe my man Pots and Pans that come in late and try to get a piece. Be interesting to see. We both use my man Pots and Pans underneath. Just a tough performance. Seems like he's gearing back up towards a big run. I do wonder if he's going to be able to perform just as well as he did last time out, though.
Yeah, almost close to a top last. He's got a couple good rides. The last 2 have been very good rides. Position, he and Walkaway Joe, you're going to probably kind of watch them in similar trips towards the back of the pack and just steadily progress from the 3/8 pole home. Yeah, they both fit. Walkaway Joe, I was disappointed in his effort last time. I expected a little bit more, but we'll see if he can bounce back this afternoon. But for the price, take the shot. Good luck, Chuck. Right to the front. Hopefully we can go coast to coast.
Yeah, we use the same for
Yep.
this race. 7-6-2-1 for you, 7-2-6-1 for me. So we'll finish things up with race number 9, Maiden 16. Same distance here, Mao and 16, 2 turns. Both of us landed on the number 5 supporting actor because you don't want to go against first-time starters prepared by Miguel Vera. At present, he had 2 first-time starters already coming in. Edie, Meanie, Miny Mo 2 days ago in a maiden claiming event. Wasn't in for the tag. Moonrock in a maiden special weight. I think it was about 3 days ago as well. So this is he is out of a Candy Ride mare. She's on race, but his half-sister first screening won on debut at Santa Anita Park, 5 furlongs, 59 by, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, she was quick, and she was all 5/8. So this is an interesting little move. Mile and a 16th right out of the box with the firster. But, yeah, I kind of defaulted into this as my top selection. I really like El Equalizer. I've been chasing it, chased him last time. The blinkers go on. I think he's going to be all right. Clever and Great, first-time gelding, angle for Claudio. So it's a tough, I don't know if the 6 is going to do it, but other than that, you may want to protect with the all button in your multi-race gimmicks in this 9th race. Not a lot to be confident about. I mean, we thought Goldfellow was going to be a good claim. He just claimed for 25 right down to the bottom and showed no run whatsoever. So head scratcher in the last, but Miguel Vera, the barn's doing well, like you said, one with a couple firsters already.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Goldfella will like having no weight whatsoever on his back, drawn towards the outside, back to 2 turns, taking a chance here, as you mentioned, in a wide open field for the nightcap. But we've seen that before, that we had a couple of big price horses coming in the nightcap. So do be aware and spread accordingly.
Right.
As that will conclude our handicapping segment. Let's get into some other fun stuff because, of course, yesterday was quite an incredible day, highlighted by terrific stakes action. We had 6 stakes races on offer. But let's start with our feature race of the day. As we see the...
Wait, there's one more, I
lightning
think.
round,
Hold
lightning
on.
round. We got
There
the
you
sound
go.
here first.
Another strike.
Yep. No, we're waiting for it here. Tessio Stakes, and wow, there was quite some drama in here as Accelerator finished a wire first. That's the number 1. You can see him there with the white blinkers on. The number 4, the Reds, is coming up to him and kind of gets taken out quite significantly, enough for the stewards to decide that the Reds gets put up and Accelerator runs in second.
Yeah, very tough luck there. Accelerator, very good race, got in good position, saw that battle develop, was able to work a trip to the outside. Just that one, just little with the left stick, and he just kind of reacted to that, drifted out, and caused that the Reds to kind of float out and have not even just lose a little momentum. He battled back the Reds. I tell you, Accelerator was digging in dead game to the wire, though. That's a tough beat. The Reds. Interesting horse. I tell you, he came away a little bit awkward. He was rank around the first turn for almost about a furlong. So he's an interesting type. You know, I don't own him, but you'll think it down. Is he maybe a horse that needs to be gelded, blinkers on, because he run very spotty. He's got ability. There's no doubt about it. He just needs it all to come together.
Yeah, backstory on Accelerator. This was second off the claim for trainer Hugh McMahon.
Yeah.
And Accelerator, in that private term stakes where he finished a gallant third to Shackled Love and Made the Horse Be With You, who were also re-opposing in the Tessio, apparently he ran without front shoes. He pulled them off before the gate. Had a shoe repair beforehand as well.
Yes.
So wondered if he just kind of touches himself a little bit, but that's what Hugh McMahon said, that he ran a stellar race despite that.
Yes.
And a beautiful looking individual caught my eye in the paddock of the private term stakes. So yeah, I guess, you know, quite eventful race. Not the outcome for some people, but for others it was of course exactly what they wanted. So congratulations once again to the Reds and John Kimmel and Victor Carrasco getting that win and you're in race aboard for the Preakness. We'll see if he lines up. It would be absolutely splendid if he did. As we move on to the feature race for the fillies, the Weber City Miss, Mount 16, and Miss Leslie did not have a clean start at all. You can see there the number one Moonstave kind of coming in on her, and J.D. Costa very frank in the post-race interview saying, I was told not to get in trouble, and that's the first thing I did.
I love it. That's what we all do, right? You know, when you're little, you know, don't do this, don't do that, and what do? We go ahead and get in trouble. But yeah, that's what makes it interesting. But Miss Leslie had a little trouble after the break, and then was able to shift to the outside. He did save some ground, and then really levels off, or she levels off here through the final eighth of a mile to get up. Good trip there for the runner-up. Olivia the Desert was able to save ground, worked her way in between horses to draw about an even, but wasn't quite good enough. So very good effort there for Miss Leslie and JD, who's riding great right now.
Yeah, Kenny McPeak trained filly. I was very wary of her coming in because, of course, we know that Kenny McPeak brings a 3-year-old filly over. You might want to keep an eye on them. Of course, Swiss Skydiver in last year's Preakness, toppling eventual Horse of the Year Authentic in quite a stellar renewal. The Dahlia Stakes. Now that was, what a stretch run there. What a drive of two top-class turf mares and filly. Actually, Crystal Cliff's filly there. Crystal Cliff's in second, and then you see Zantique coming up there. Still, you know, had to navigate some traffic. Really, really lays it down to the wire.
I tell you, this was a really, really good horse race, and it's a shame. I mean, it looked like they both deserved to win, right? But Xanthique, a great ride by Fergal Lynch, got her to relax. I know Morley was talking about her. It's taken her time to mature and settle a little bit into her races, and she was a little headstrong down the backside and had to wait. But great ride following Crystal Cliffs up the inside path in the top of the stretch, and then eased out and found that seam past the eighth pole. And man, did she fire home that last 16th of a mile. Crystal Cliffs off a lengthy layoff, a big effort for her as well. Big things in store for both of these fillies. And Vigilante's Way ran well too.
Yeah, no, this was one of my favorite races of the day. Trainer Tom Morley came over from New York to see his two horses run, and Zantique is quite sort of the house horse for them. She was claimed by them earlier in her career. I do believe it was 40,000 or maybe even less, and is now a stakes winning Into Mischief filly. So an absolutely wonderful story that involves everyone that is or has been a part of their team. Emotional. Tom Morley spoke to me afterwards. It was just kind of a feel-good moment. That was our first stakes race of the days. We'll move on to the Whiteley Stakes. Yet another lengthy stretch duel in there. And we had veteran campaigner Lakai for Damon Delodo-Vico adding another stakes race to his tally. Of course, he also provided Damon Delodo-Vico with his first ever graded stakes winner when winning the De Francis Dash. Just another wonderful story, really.
Yeah, we had this one on top. We commented about the little freshening that Lakai got. He almost kind of bottomed out fig-wise in the try prior to yesterday. He came back. We said we wanted him close. Boy, I felt really good leaving the 3/8 pole. Lebda very quick from the inside with JD, but Lakai had a measured every step of the way, determined run once he straightened past the 8th pole. Good job, Damon and company.
Yeah, Lebda ran his heart out as well. Of course, Lebda was the private terms winner and then stretched out in the Ohio Derby in the Haskell. Didn't enjoy that and then has now been running over the sprinting distances and seemed to kind of found himself or reinvented himself once again. It's also now a gelding and he's a tall boy as well. So I think it's a great story for trainer Claudio Gonzalez trying something different with him and it's paying dividends. So move on to our final point in the lightning round, the Henry S. Clark Stakes, Mount 16 on the grass. Corelli just nailed the Godolphin runner Pixelate on the wire. There. You can't even see him yet. He's not even in the screen yet. There he goes. European trained horse prior to joining Jonathan Thomas's barn by point of entry out of a mare called Vignette. I actually know him a little bit. I sat on him, I do believe, as a 2-year-old. So what a story to see him here once again. A very small word and good training performance by Jonathan Thomas. We worried about him going back to this distance if it was a bit too short, didn't we?
Yeah, I did. But you know who didn't worry? My partner Bill up there in the press box with me with Equibase. He really, really liked Corelli. The horse was fresh, did the right thing, got him back to a shorter distance of ground, and man, he flew home. Another good ride. Toledo settled, saved some ground, got out in the clear, and just rolled late. Pixelate, a great effort. Dreams of Tomorrow, a horse going probably back maybe to an allowance rank. Until the allowance ranks ran very good. Tried a new thing out, took that horse back. Forest Boys did, and got this horse to relax and brought a finish. So I think you got to watch him next time out as well. Very good horse racing. You need any buyers? 93 for Corelli there in the Henry Clark. Let's go through them real quick. In the Whiteley, Lakaya 96, Miss Leslie 75 in the. Weber City Miss, my bad. The Reds in the Tezio got an 84 completed pass, a 96 in the Leatherberry. Is that all of them?
Yeah, I do believe so.
Okay.
What about Xanthi?
The Dahlia, Xanthique at 90.
Yeah, oh,
there
nice
you go.
figure as well. God, there was just so much on offer. If you
Tell
had
me
to
about
say a highlight, I mean, it's tough to pinpoint a highlight. There was so much incredible stretch duels, horses really laying it down on the wire. I find it hard to pinpoint one race, to be honest.
Every finish from the top of the stretch home. I mean, it was great. I mean, if you're sitting, that's why the one thing I love about Pimlico here, these little terrace seats that we have off to my right. Just one of the best places to sit there, enjoy the day, and watch the stretch run as they come down. It is really, really good. And I tell you, they put on a show. All the thoroughbreds yesterday were outstanding.
Agreed. It just even makes me smile talking about it.
Yep.
It was just such a high energy day. Congratulations to all the connections once again, and of course the racing office for giving us this treat of a day. Can't wait for Preakness coming up in less than 3 weeks. Of course, Derby in 1 week. Thank you so much once again, Keith. That will do it for us. I'll be back later on today with Tim Tulloch, and Dave Rotman, the voice of Maryland Racing, comes up next with Scratches and Changes.
All right. Good luck.